You may know him as Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I know him as just a man who has done incredible things for the last few decades. But how can you use his techniques in your business? I'll show you exactly how. Head on over to ZackMillerSays.com/The Rock, and you can smell what he's cooking. How did I do? Was that a good commercial? Did you like that?
That was awesome.
Yeah. I haven't watched that in a little while. I forgot what it was like. I was like, oh, there you go. That actually took me 7 takes to perfect. Not because I couldn't, get it out every time. It was the angle of the camera to make sure you have The Rock, sitting there and you could see him. And you're like, oh yeah,
yeah. That was cool.
Do you sell any of The Rock's products? Or have you helped The Rock at all? I mean, he's only like the second sexiest man alive, apparently.
Yeah, no, he's totally my man crush. I love The Rock.
How could you not? You guys have. Honestly, you weren't a professional football player, and you only had $20. He had $7, but or $8, something like that. But do you think that? I wasn't thinking about asking this question as I was going into this, but do you think that like hitting that rock bottom and having a couple bucks and getting out of it is why you've been able to see the success through, because you don't want to go back to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely have a big motivation to not go back to living like that. And, it also keeps me kind of like taking risks and chasing things down, because in my head, things can never get as bad as they were. I've kind of protected myself from something like that ever happening again. So it really allows me to take risks, try new things, and just keep chasing the dream.
Yeah. So for context, you started this, you said 2014-ish?
Yeah.
With $20 to do some initial training. And how much have you done in sales within the last 6 years?
We've done about close to 7 million in revenue on Amazon.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So you've learned a lot along the way. I'm sure that there's people that are probably now approaching you to say, hey, teach me what you've learned along the way. Is that something that you help local businesses or help people do to start their own Amazon marketplace, if you will?
Yeah, I do. I've helped quite a few people get into reselling. I think that's like the lowest barrier of entry. You don't have to buy $5,000 worth of product or anything like that. You can get started on Amazon for like a $40 monthly subscription. You can go into your local Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Walmart, scan some products, and start making some money. And you can actually end up making a pretty good hourly wage, and have some freedom with your schedule. If you're someone who stays up all night, you can go into stores and scan all night long and come home with some inventory. And as you build your business, there's enough profit in it, to bring on someone to do prepping and packaging and things like that.
Does COVID change that at all? Make that worse?
Yeah, it absolutely did. We took a pretty big hit from COVID. One of our suppliers shut down. One of our reselling suppliers shut down for a while, and we lost a lot of revenue.
And did you think back about the days of the $20 in your pocket type of thing? Like when you go through something like that, like do you recall back from the bad days? Because I always try to like think about things like, okay, like when was it tough?
Yeah.
And so you're like, I don't want that to happen again. So what did you do to get out of it? Yeah, well, this is what I'm going to need to do.
Yeah. So
I guess the question is, what did you do when COVID hit?
Yeah, we shifted gears a little bit and looked into getting more wholesale contracts. So we did a whole bunch of lead generation for wholesale contacts, sent out a bunch of emails, made a lot of phone calls, which a lot of them were just like not very good contracts to have. But we did end up with a couple good ones, and I had some money in the bank. So I took that and I put it into our own brands. And I created 2 of our own brands with some of our own products to get that going, because what I'm working towards now is building these Amazon brands with the intention of selling them in a couple years, because there's these marketplaces where you can list your brand for sale, and people are buying them at like 4 to 5x multiples, just like crazy right now. So that's what I'm working towards.